Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Kentucky Route Zero. Here we are at Sam and Ida's. There's a restaurant. There's also some other stuff going on. I'm kind of curious what this winch is pulling up, because it sort of looks like a diving bell that... First I thought maybe it was a submarine. Hold on, we're just gonna chill here until this is all the way up, because I'm actually very curious. It's not a diving... I don't know. It's sort of bell-shaped. This is not what a diving bell is, I think. Wait, there's someone standing in it? Maybe I'm exactly wrong. Maybe that's actually 100% what it is. Hey there, Sam. Hello out there. Headed up or down? Yeah, that's actually a great question. Sometimes I wonder myself. Best never to dive with doubt in your heart, though it can't always be helped. Well, head on upstairs and she'll take care of you. I'll be along in a minute. It is a wow. Well... I guess it's not the weirdest thing we've seen. I don't know why I'm so surprised. I guess we're just headed up here. I don't need to do this all manually. This is the future. Our walking is automatic now. Just in time. We've already finished eating, but we're about to place a to-go order for Clara. She's back on board getting ready for her show. Take a look at the menu. I'm sure there's something you'll like. Ida's a bit of a local celebrity. For her cooking, I mean. Hey, Ezra was just asking about you. He's around the corner playing a video game. Maybe go let him know you two are back? Or, hey, where is the old man anyway? Yeah. Are we going to broach that topic, or no, we're just going to wander away? That's fine. Bad luck. You'll get it next time. Hey, you got a quarter? He's almost got this. It's true. Sure. I have one quarter. Here's the thing. A lot of these machines are actually rigged. Let's let the kid live in a world that has hope, though. So, where's, They took him. Damn. Yeah, he really got himself in a situation there. Nobody seems surprised in the least, huh? Yeah, I'm gonna go sit down. Cool. The food's good here. I think everyone else is finishing up, but you could probably get something to go. Alright, Claw Maestro, let's give this another shot. So, let's see what's on top of the pile here. There's a stuffed octopus, a plastic bag full of clamshells, a cowboy hat, and some big headphones. You know, that octopus has a leg wrapped around the boombox underneath it. The shells are pretty clear, but I don't know if the claw can really grip the bag well. The cowboy hat is in the corner, so it's kind of tricky to tell if it's wedged in or not. Those headphones might be a good bet, but I can't see the cord. Could be wrapped around something. What are you going to try for? Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, listen, I bet you can't get anything. These machines are, they're designed to take your money, not to give you stuff. From the descriptions he's giving us here, maybe the shells? I will say, stuff in the corner. The claw's not usually able to get into the corner very well. Let's try for the shells. The thing is, what do I want a bunch of plastic clamshells for? I guess if we're going to go for this, we ought to try to get something we actually care about. You know what, let's see about the headphones. We don't know that the headphones are trapped. Good call. I think that's our best bet. I bet he says that no matter what you pick. Okay, when I put this quarter in, you'll have about 8 seconds to grab your prize. The headphones are on the right, pretty close to the middle. Let me know if you need help lining it up. I've got a slightly different view of the field from up here. Ready? Here we go. Johnny inserts the coin, and the machine awakens. Claw hovers in the front left corner of the machine. Oh, am I actually going to do this? Okay. So he said... on the right, pretty close to the middle. Well, I mean... the claw's halfway across the machine. So on the right, pretty close to the middle. I guess I don't know what he meant when he said the middle, because he might have meant dead center, but he also might have meant the middle in the vertical plane, but on the right side of the horizontal plane. We're going to have to go up either way. And now we'll ask him for help. Does this look right? No, you're too far to the left. Okay, so he did mean in the middle, just on that, sort of like that Y plane. So we'll go to the right, and then hopefully that'll be it. And then, of course, it's not going to work anyway, because it's a claw machine. Alright, we're going to verify one more time. He says it looks good. Who knows? The claw drops. It grabs the headphones. The claw's grasp seems unusually weak on this round, and the headphones tumble back out before they can be retrieved. I bet that's not that unusual at all. Aw, you were robbed. I guess the house always wins, except on Tuesdays. Yeah, a friend of ours always said that. I never really knew what he meant. Oh well. Hey, listen. It sounds like that old man you were following around, I guess he had to leave? Oh, is he okay? Yeah, he's okay. I mean, I'm sure he could be better, but I don't think we need to worry about him. Anyway, I don't know what kind of plans you have now, but if you need help figuring out your next move, you can always talk to me and Miss Junebug. I just wanted to make sure you know that. Well, I'll meet up with Julian when we get back above ground and go back to the museum. I think that was Ezra's plan the whole way here, right? The whole time is the phrase I was desperately grasping for. Oh yeah, he's your brother, you said, right? Hey, maybe we still have time to poke around this place a little. They have some pretty wild stuff in here. Because, like, Shannon and Conway wanted to find his family a little bit, but I think he always intended, like, he kind of seems to consider his parents just gone. I mean, he's doing all right. He's got a giant eagle. It's more you could say for me. Hey, did you see this? They keep a table full of fake food over here. I've never known why. Actually, I think it might be real food coated with shellac or something. Preserved. Oh, and look at this tentacle-looking thing. It's half-eaten. This is someone's meal that they didn't finish? Tentacle. Gross. And I don't know. Some people really like that stuff. I had some fried calamari once at a gas station. It was pretty good, but I stripped a gear trying to chew the beak. They're supposed to take that out. If Sam and Ida preserved this half-eaten meal, it must have been pretty important to them, right? Maybe it belonged to someone they care about, like a beloved uncle had a mid-meal stroke, so they kept it in his memory. He nearly stripped a gear trying to chew... How does the chewing mechanism... whatever, it doesn't matter. Yeah, like these sunflower seeds my folks left behind. Oh, I'm sure your folks are fine, though. Are you worried about them? I guess we have to make a decision now here, narratively speaking. How does Ezra feel about his family? I think he's gotta worry, right? Yeah. It's not like... It's not all-consuming, but it's gotta still be there. Yeah, it's weird that they just disappeared. Yeah, listen, that's okay to be worried. You're doing fine. Johnny really doesn't know how to deal with all this, I think. Weird. Somehow I thought it was his truck and delivery and all. It was. That's what she's saying. But he gave it to her before they took him away. But you're going to deliver it anyway. Why? Well, somebody's waiting for those antiques. Have you got a name or just an address? I mean, maybe it doesn't matter. Even having discharged all that whatever it is onto the lawn, I'm sure you'd still have fulfilled your friend's obligation. Johnny and I'll help you unload when we get there. Lift with your legs, Cricket. Yes, ma'am. It does sort of seem like we're all just gonna let Conway go? I'm not... I mean, I guess I don't know what else we would do. But we kind of know where he must have gone, right? It feels like we could do... I'm talking like we're gonna effect a jailbreak. We're gonna spring him, like... So how was everything? How was the sweet cave snail? Devastating. You're a killer, Ida. Well, I can't take all the credit. Sam came across a whole cave snail colony down there about a year back, and we've been leaving rock candy for them to gorge on since. We just started harvesting earlier this month. Yes, it's all about patience down here. Everything grows more slowly in the dark. There's a fish in Lake Lethe that lives to 200 years, and its flavor profile only develops at about 75. That can't be. I guess I don't know. I don't know how fish flavor profiles work. I've got a pot of bones in there that's been stewing for at least a week. I don't even remember why I put them on. Come to think of it, I don't even remember what kind of bones they are. Oh, we need one for the road. Clara said she wanted, something primordial, she said. What does that mean? Kate reviews the menu. Okay, what would have... what might she have meant? I mean... If I hear someone say, order me something primordial, I think they mean old-fashioned beyond old-fashioned. They want, like, a potato or something. Don't prepare it in any way. Just hand me a potato. Something very deep in the lake. I guess I could see that also being a meaning. Let's go old-fashioned. That was my intuition. Ah, could be. Here, you pick. I'm no good at this. All right. She'll have... What sounds primordial? Blind prawn cakes with cranberry butter sauce. Too fancy. Old cave fish with small salad and scallop. I don't... That you know what? That might work. Balsamic carrot. That right there. That's primordial. However, there's another page. We're going to look. So many choices. It looks like we can't go back, though. Spicy blind salamander and rice, barnacle cauliflower soup, mussel hot pot. See, all of these are too developed cooking technique. I want something from an earlier time. Kind of wish I could just pick that carrot again. Charred blind salamander with cranberry black bean relish. Is that even... Boy, that doesn't even sound good to me. Pork and shrimp gumbo, cedar plank mollusk with parmesan herb crust and butter sauce. How about basic steamed squid? Okay, that's not bad. Buttermilk crusted crayfish kebabs, sweetwater cuttlefish, and carrot fritters with orange sauce. I don't even know what a fritter is. Basic steamed squid's not bad, but at this point, I'm just going to keep turning the page. I think she'd like barnacle log. Yo, that's primordial. Ida's smoked salamander spread with New York toast. Honestly, barnacle log is very, that feels like the thing she asked for. However, how about balsamic shallot, crayfish and black bean cakes with Missouri? You know what? Balsamic shallot. There we go. It's not quite as good as the first thing we saw, but it'll do. Good choice. Your friend will love it. I'll have that right out, sweetie. Ezra leans over the table and carefully examines the preserved food and drink. And while she's sitting here watching, I'm pretty curious what the tentacle is. Let's prod that and see if that provokes her to explain. The tentacle is solid and fixed in place. And we used to steam those. Juicy. But I prefer them smoked now. I read that really strangely. Sorry I startled you, sweetie. Whose food is this? Well, this is the diver's table, and this was the diver's meal. This food is about 15 years old. It's true. Things were different then. Nobody came to eat here, and we were fighting just to keep the lights on. Sam, that's my husband Sam, was depressed. He couldn't catch anything, that was part of the problem. And most of what we served was shipped in frozen or dried, and I just threw it in the fryer. We've both come a long way since then. Well, 2 young men came in for dinner. Seasoned divers, they said, over 10,000 hours between them in Lake Leth alone. They'd been out all day, salvaging parts from a riverboat wreck, and had worked up a fierce hunger, they said. They ordered the whole menu without even looking. It was a shorter menu in those days. I sat him right here and went back to the kitchen. Sam was at the next table doing a Sudoku and drinking malt liquor, his usual routine at the time. An hour later, I was cleaning up when Sam came bursting into the kitchen. Ida, he said, kind of frantic. These divers are still hungry. Bring them another course. And I said, well, they already ordered the whole menu. And Sam said, well, make something new. Keep making up dishes. Whatever. Just keep bringing out food. So I did until the small hours of the morning. I made up so many new dishes that night I could write a book. And it was good. Inspired. But I was working so hot and fast at the burning edge of inspiration, I didn't think to write any of it down. And I was so wrecked with exhaustion the next day, I knew I couldn't remember what all I'd done in the kitchen. Sam thought we could take a photograph of the leftovers, but we couldn't get the lighting right, so we just shellacked the whole table. Now, when I need inspiration for the menu, I come and look here and think about all those ingenious dishes I threw together for those divers. Of course, they didn't pay their full bill. I heard one of them complaining to the other, let's just pay half and let them charge the other half to whatever demon in the kitchen kept making up food faster than we could ask for it. But it all worked out. Things have really turned around since then. This place is actually pretty popular now. The success, and our expanded menu, inspired Sam, too. He started bringing back the most magnificent ingredients from his nightly dives. I'd better get to work. You stay right here, sweetie, and I'll bring you a treat on my way back out. Well, that's nice of her. So, in a way, it's sort of like when businesses save the first dollar bill they earn, except, weirder. What is this that he has now? He caught a giant earthworm. Well, buddy, I guess you're the catch of the day, the one and only. So, what are you? You look like, well, some kind of eel, I guess? Kind of a mopey little guy, huh? Yeah, I can see it in your eyes. You smell like, sort of, buttery. Well, that should be just fine. Skin feels like sandpaper? Huh. Well, she'll figure something out. I think I'll call you... I mean, there's a lot to be said for naming a thing the actual description of the thing. Although I guess grit eel also works. And it is red. I like buttery eel. Welcome to Salmonida's, the one and only buttery eel. I hope you enjoy your stay. Well, I mean, not too much. Have you ever seen a creature like me before? You were pretty far down there. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm the first, except, well, there were 2 divers who went down before me, long ago. Maybe that was before your time. How old are you, anyway? I wonder. You know, they ate here once, back in the bad old days. 2 young guys. Could have been brothers, maybe. I was over in the corner with my coffee and crossword. I hadn't been able to catch a thing, so I'd have just fried up something from frozen. Well, these guys were hungry enough to eat it and ask for more, and they did at least as much talking as eating. See, like I said, they were divers, and like I said, they might have been brothers. They had a kind of rivalry going between them or something. Ida was about to write up their check, but I slipped calmly and quietly into the kitchen for a minute, and told her to just keep bringing out food. I figured they wouldn't notice, caught up in their boasting as they were, and I wanted to listen. They went back and forth for hours about all the deep and dangerous dives they'd been on, new tunnels they'd discovered, all the weird creatures they'd encountered at the weirdest depths of Lake Lethe. It was like a dance. No, like a boxing match. Each story went deeper than the last. And I listened to every word of it, memorized every description of every tunnel and diving route they'd discovered. And that's my map now, you see. For 15 years, I've been using routes those 2 divers discussed right there at that table. Yeah, I could write a guidebook to the depths of this lake. But I don't dare. I mean, someone would steal my good diving spots, and then where would we be? See, people come here from all over just to try our daily catch, because they know it's unique. Aren't you proud? Now, since I can't write any of it down, I just preserved that table where they had their meal, so I can look at it to jog my memory. Like they were eating pickled crab when they talked about that shipwreck full of salamanders. It's pretty clever, huh? It's my own secret code. Well, I'll be straight with you, Buttery Eel. There is one feature of this arrangement that I find unsettling. In fact, I lose a decent amount of sleep over it. I told you those boys were competing, right? One-upping each other, I mean, each getting wilder and more adventurous as they traded tales. Well, I navigate mostly in the dark down there, just going by touch and a kind of mental picture I can construct from their detailed boasts. And every time I explore a new diving spot from those recollections, I have to weigh it all against the risk that I'm headed right into a dangerous falsehood. Oh no, that's the worst kind of falsehood. One of those men could have felt for a moment like he was losing some ground in their little duel, so he could have slipped a fake one in there. Maybe told a fib about some dive he went on and found a colony of blind shrimp living in a discarded refrigerator. And then when I get down there, my diving bell cracks open on a sharp rock where he said that fridge would be. And that's the end of Sam of Salmonida's. To be honest, that possibility puts the fear of death in me every time I touch water. Yes, the literal fear of death. I guess it's pretty hard to, see and steer the diving bell, huh? Hey, Sam, good haul tonight? Well, we'll see what she can make of it. Yeah, pretty good, I think. I had some trouble down by the narrow tunnel. Some kind of fast-growing freshwater barnacles just about sealed it up. I picked away for half an hour before I gave up and went around the other way. But I got the catch of the day, and that's the important part. That's what people travel for. Well, we could ask him, but we already know. Are there a lot of fish in this lake? I mean, it seems so quiet. Oh yeah, there's a fish or 2. Not too many. It's not like a surface lake where you got sunlight propping up the food chain. Life down here grows slowly, patiently, quietly. You gonna stay for a drink? I've got a dark rum that goes well with coffee. I think we're about to leave, but thanks. Just passing through. Hey, aren't we all? Well, no, clearly you 2 aren't. I'm trying to remember, was there something... Here's a problem with playing this over such a long period of time. I can't remember whether the line of dialogue I'm about to talk about was from this or was from something else that I read or listened to in between episodes of this, but wasn't there somebody at some point who said that stories get truer as they're told? Yeah, that had to be here. It had to be related to Will, right? It's kind of an interesting contrast with, like, the Rashomon deal of them remembering the diver's meal so differently. Well, at least remembering each other's behavior during the meal so differently. That's actually kind of an interesting point, because they remember all of the other details the same. It's just each other that they're misrepresenting.
This world is not my home. I'm just passing through. My treasures.
Wait, am I allowed to get on their boat?
Hopes are placed beyond the blue. Many friends and kin have gone.
Well, clearly she doesn't feel like this is any kind of urgent situation.
And I can feel at home in this world anymore. Oh Lord, you know I have
Now we're gonna sit and listen for a sec.
like you. If heaven's not my home, oh Lord, what will I do? Angels beckon me to heaven's open door, and I can't feel at home in this world anymore. I have a loving mother up in glory land, and I don't expect to stop until I shake her hand. She's waiting now for me in heaven's open door, and I can't feel at home in this world anymore.
I had completely forgotten that this was where our raft was, by the way.
I have no friend like you. If heaven's not my home, oh Lord, what will I do? Angels beckon me to heaven's open door, and I can't feel at home in this world anymore.
Okay, she won't go back up. I just realized, I don't think we actually got her any food, right? We ordered food for Kate. Well, too late now? No, okay, now she'll go. I double-click. No, she will not run. Under no circumstances will Shannon Marquez run. She does not want the world to think she's in a hurry. Bad things happen to people that the world thinks are in a hurry. I feel a little bit bad about having used the word misrepresented when I was talking about how Sam and Ida remember the story, because that sort of implies some intent on their part. I bet they each really think they remember the truth of what happened. I don't mean to cast them as malicious actors, is what I'm trying to say. Camera is not going to... Okay, I guess we're not getting anything else done up here, because the camera's not interested in following us back up there. Well, then we are once more going to watch Shannon walk these stairs. I gotta say, stuff like this. So, I've talked a couple of times about how this is a weird experience. This is a weird game to do a Let's Play of. And when you really think about it, I guess doing a Let's Play of anything is pretty weird. But, this is weird in a different way. This is weird because it's different from the other weird thing. Everything in all of the weird reflexes aren't maybe are not the right word that but all of the sort of the built-up behaviors in my brain of Let's Playing are screaming at me not to just sit and listen to things. Like, I always gotta be talking, I always gotta be producing content at you. That's not healthy, right? It's good to sit and listen. Almost everybody talks too much. It's just a weird thing. Well, back out on the river, I'm very concerned about Conway. I mean, we're basically just allowing him to be consigned to to a life of indentured servitude, right? And I mean, what could we do about it? But I feel like we ought to try to do something. You see that? It just looks like a swirling mess of garbage, doesn't it? Well, that's what it is. I don't know why trash seems to collect right there of all the spots on the lake. It's just always been that way. Everyone just navigates around it, like it was an island or something. I mean, if you look closely, you can see some wood scraps from the old canoe rental shop. I bet that's true. Gemini Canoe and Firewood. The place was run by twin sisters, Cassie and Paula, I think. Now, this was years ago. They used to rent out canoes to tourists, campers, pilgrims, folks like that. And they must have had some kind of deal with the distillery. You'd always see a couple of Hard Times boys posted up on the dock, peddling small bottles to their customers. Cassie and Paula worked those old canoes to death, wrung every penny out of them. They'd only take one out of commission when it was truly, demonstrably dangerous, and you couldn't get a refund unless your boat was visibly taking on water. The side business in Firewood was a stroke of minor genius. Yeah, this cluttered place makes a decent local museum. It's as good a history as I could ever tell. When we arrived at a small houseboat neighborhood that sometimes hosted concerts for the pleasure of its residents, where Clara was scheduled that night to perform. Part of me... It's the idea that we ought to, somehow save Conway, that we ought to go down there and spring him from his debt, is definitely a very this is how we resolve problems in video games sort of thought, but it does also kind of come from a wish that that's how things worked in real life. What if we could just effect a dramatic heist to save our friends from their debts? Wouldn't that be a better place for everyone except the lenders? But, I mean, screw those guys. I kind of want to see... I guess we're going to see the performance either way, right? Let's be a part of it. Ezra stayed on the tugboat to help Claire with her performance. There is a sort of an overwhelming sense of what do I do when, at least when I look around the situation that all the people I know are in, a sort of a what do I do that we all just kind of have to live in. Sure would be nice if there was something. Now that's a very special tape player you have there. It can play forwards or backwards, slow or fast. You may discover some completely new sounds tonight, Ezra. So, are you ready? I am a little nervous. Oh, that's okay. In fact, it's probably better. Musicians often over-prepare, and in this piece I prefer to capture a sense of spontaneity. That's why I'm touring alone, and not asking other musicians to accompany me. Any questions before we begin? Well, how will I know what to do? Just play your tape player. You may play any tape at any speed and volume, even backwards. Just listen to the music and use your intuition. Or it may be better if you try not to listen to the music. This technique is called indeterminacy. What's the name of your music? It doesn't have a name. Would you like to name it? Maybe it's better without a name. At least until it exists, right? So what will it sound like? Well, there's only one way to find out. All right, let's begin. We do have an awful lot of tapes. So we're just gonna start, huh? I was kind of hoping that she would start, and then I'd be able to, like, get a feeling from what she was doing to play into it, but, I mean, I think the mammoth is kind of beautiful. Let's start with the mammoth. I mean, the sounds, obviously, that play from the mammoth are less beautiful, but the mammoth itself is a lovely thing. I think if we were to play the mammoth sounds forward at a normal speed, everyone would be very upset. They're terrible. What about backwards very slowly? We're gonna... Ooh, or we could strobe it. No, backwards very slowly. I bet that'll be interesting. Did we record some kombucha at some point? It feels very meandery to me so far. We're out here on the river. And we're traveling, but we're not actually getting any... we're kind of getting places. We're getting places in a very sort of languorous way. Let's do this. Slowly at first, but then speeding up to represent, like, our approach to our destination, which was here. Hey, look at how fast we are. We're here already. And now we're here, and it's very relaxing to be here. The way she's playing is starting to sound kind of spooky to me, but I think that might just be how theremins sound. Like, can you do not spooky on a theremin? You know what's real spooky is a cat. A cat, it's just like, it's everywhere, man. You don't know where it is. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. I can think of nothing more terrifying. I think it was probably pretty hard for people to tell it was a cat. It doesn't help that I failed to capture the meow. Thank you, Ezra. Yeah, was that okay? Did I do alright? Oh, I don't think I understand your question. Well, I was just pressing buttons, but you're like a theremin scientist. A scientist? Oh, no. But, like a scientist, I experiment. Unlike a scientist, I have no hypothesis. I try not to be attached to outcomes. Does that make sense? My violin teacher used to tell me to play like a tourist. Act as though you've never been there before. I hope you'll continue making tapes, Ezra. I'm sure there are many more people who would enjoy listening to them, on this river and elsewhere. Yeah, I mean, it really didn't sound like a cat. There's no way anybody knew that was supposed to be a cat. I'm going to be honest with you. As you probably noticed there, I have a really hard time conceiving of art in sort of like a non-sequential, non-narrative way. So what she was going for there really eluded me. I've often had this problem listening to music and poetry. I met a photographer once. I mean, one in particular. She even took my portrait. I can't imagine why. She said it would immortalize me. That was a metaphor, of course. She meant I'd never be forgotten. As she was disembarking, not far from here actually, the film fell out of her bag and was borne away by the current. I was working on deck at the time. She shot me a sad, apologetic glance, but I wasn't bothered. It's no shame to be forgotten. Boy, that is the opposite of what everything in my entire life has ever told me. Our passengers, two lighter, disembarked at the mail stop by the silo. They couldn't seem to get that old truck started up again, but we managed to roll it off the barge with only a minor scrape or two. At the last minute, Clara decided to travel with them for a while. Kate and I said goodbye to our friends, new and old, and the mucky mammoth rumbled on down the echo. Yeah, if we haven't managed to get the truck started yet, what is our plan here? Oh hey, I know this silo. I don't know why it didn't immediately occur to me that this was what that was. Well, I guess really looking at the bridge, maybe it wouldn't help to have the truck running, because I don't think I'd feel safe driving it up there. What's this place like? Dogwood Drive. It's in a small town, or... It... I really don't know. You know, I've got the manifest the old man had in his truck here. Lisette's Antiques, mail order delivery, no return address, shipping address 5 Dogwood Drive, packing list, and then it's just numbers. I guess the inventory numbers of the antiques he was supposed to be delivering. Anyway, I'm glad you're coming with us. Yes, I'm always eager to see more of the country, and I enjoy the company. I will have to find a bus or a train to get on to Nashville by evening. Well, they have buses everywhere, right? Or, hey, I could drive you to Nashville. Seems I have a truck now. Only, how are we going to get it up these stairs? Yeah, that's quite a staircase. Boy, I don't think trying to move a truck up the silo with rope is a real good plan. I mean, is there another route? A tunnel or something, maybe? No way out but up. I guess we could wait for the mammoth to come back around and take us a little further down, but that won't be until late afternoon. Looks like we're making the rest of this trip on foot. Well, I mean, I don't even know what's in there. What if it's too much to carry? We've been loading and unloading gear since the stars were young. We're our own roadies, right? We've got expertise. All right, Cricket, let's get this delivery packed and tied into bundles. We're hiking it upstairs. What's in there? Antiques, I guess. Please tell me what's in there. Antiques. Yeah, antiques are... It's like junk, but people will pay for it. Oh. Sorry, I guess you'll be taking the bus after all. It's okay. It'll be an adventure. Shannon sighs and stretches. Tired? Don't worry, lady. We're almost there. It doesn't feel like we're almost there. Just based on how tall I know the silo to be. I bet this is where they're going to end the act. There have been people out there, if that's true, there have been people out there waiting for 7 years to find out exactly what was in the back of that truck. In some ways, I'm really bummed out that I don't get to have the experience that I would have had if I had played through this in its original release. But in other ways, I'm glad, because that would have driven me crazy. Is that the end, or... I am so uncomfortable with a silence. It is wild. That felt like it was 100 years long to me. Okay, well, I guess we've completed Act 4. I don't think it's a good idea to start in on Un Pueblo de Nada here 40 minutes into this episode, so I think this is where we're going to end it. Thank you all so much for watching and coming on this journey with me, and for your insightful comments and everything. I'm going to be straight with you. I have not been reading them very much, because I'm a little worried about getting spoiled, especially since somebody totally did spoil a thing for me already. It's not a big deal. I'm fine. I'll get over it. But, I like to have the raw experience. There's a lot of people talking about spoilers these days, and I feel like there's a sort of a community sentiment forming around the idea that it's dumb to be concerned about spoilers. There's sort of like a backlash forming. But the way I think of it is, you can experience a thing while knowing what's going to happen as many times as you want to, anytime that you want to. But you only get one chance to have that other experience, and I think that it is valuable. I don't think it's a silly thing to want to have. So, what I'm saying is, thank you for all of your insightful comments that I will definitely read after we are done. Come back next time on Monday for Un Pueblo de Nada and maybe the beginning of the end. And we'll see you then.